Cuban Rusty Monses doesn't disagree with the idea of a border wall. In fact, he thinks it's absolutely crucial for his safety and security since he lives right on the border. No, Rusty's problem with the border wall is its location, its height, and how it's constructed. Rusty has seen it all in his 70-plus years living along the Rio Grande River near Brownsville, Texas, and would fully support a wall that wasn't as tall, was located on the border, and that was constructed in such a fashion as to actually stop people from crossing it. This is a scale model of the type of border fence Rusty favors. It utilizes the same technologies that prisons use, and while not everyone would agree that it's the ideal solution, one would have to admit that it'd be more effective than the current fencing that rusts and becomes even easier to cross over as it ages. This is not an old section of fence. You'll notice the shiny keypad and hardware. The problem is that while the metal is thick enough to reportedly be able to stop a .50 caliber bullet when new, as a policy, it cannot be sealed against rust. As that happens, the metal becomes rough and easy to grip, which coupled with the width of the slats and their V shape means a good climber can scale the wall with a couple 100 pounds on their back in a half a minute.
What makes it so rough is the fact that historically the area, at least where the farm is at, has always been a location where it was easier to cross from Mexico into the States. Short distance from the river to the property, and then from the property to a road. Easy access. Property. On the average basis, like I say, it's pretty quiet. Yesterday afternoon was the exception to the rule because of the fact that the people came up like they did. I was parked in the driveway 70 foot, 100 foot from the road. This vehicle comes up, I see it. I see the people coming around, they're running for the truck. I get out with my phone, which I got his tag number, I got the description of the vehicle, I got the number of people, and I turned it in. In the process, he saw that I told him what I was going to do. That was when the threat came out. And I believed him, because there's an intent when somebody looks at you, you know. I figured that he might. So last night I bugged out. I called the SO and I called the Border Patrol, told them what I was doing. They said, fine, don't worry about it. It's okay. You're covered. Okay, what's wrong with the current border wall, number one, is the location. Where it was placed, because it was not done from a law enforcement aspect. It was done to suit a politician's idea. The politicians sat up in Washington, looked at a map and said, oh, well, this is where it needs to go. They did not bother to ask any of the law enforcement people. This I know because I talked to the sheriff. I talked to people with DPS, the FBI, including the Treasury Department, the Customs, the Border Patrol, and everybody else, Department of Public Safety, the Texas Rangers.
Rusty's story and his unique perspective is just one of many from those that live in the no man's land on the other side of El Muro, the border wall.